Trail and Brad Butcher have got a brand new song out. It's called Holding Pattern. It's been out for a few weeks now, and I thought we might get Camille on and find out a little bit how she got meeting up with Brad and also how the song came about. Camille, what an interesting song.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
Obviously, Holding Pattern was written by Shane Wilkinson, Matt Benbrook, and also Amy Launton. But how did you get a hold of it? Is it something that you were chasing, or did they contact you?
My manager, Graham from Compass Bros Records, him and I were talking about more songs for the next single, and he's like, oh, there's actually this song that Shane wrote as a co-write in London like 2 or 3 years ago now that I think would be really cool. So he sent it to me and I had a listen and I just fell in love with it. It was the first song that I've ever released that I haven't written myself, and it felt really weird at the start, and I was almost a bit like, I don't know if I want to release a song that I haven't written, but it's just such a beautiful song that I kind of didn't want it to go to waste, and I was like, I just want to record it and release it. So yeah, that's pretty much how it all came about.
So when they wrote the song, was it written as a duet, or was it after you heard it you thought it should be a duet?
Yeah, so it was written as a duet, and I think Amy had sang the duet in the demo with Shane. So when I first heard it, it was presented as a duet, which I've always wanted to do a duet as well. So that kind of made me like the song even more. I was like, right, this is my opportunity to finally do a duet as well. So it seemed like kind of like the perfect song for the timing.
And Brad Butcher was the logical choice?
Yeah, I've always loved Brad, and he's just such an amazing songwriter, and his voice is just amazing. And I've always thought that our voices would blend well together. And Brad and I actually did a co-write together in Brisbane when I was at uni. And it was funny because we both had completely forgotten about that. Because that was back in 2018, I think. And we'd both completely forgotten about it. And when we filmed the music video for this song, I was like, oh, hey, remember when we did that co-write back in 2018? And Brad was like, what co-write? And then I was like, like I came to your house and we wrote that song. And he was like, oh my God, that was you. It's just funny how like the world works.
Now that you've done a duet, do you think you might actually find yourself writing a couple of duets?
Yeah, I think so. I love duets. And I think it's really nice releasing music with someone else because you kind of get to share the success of it with someone else. It's still really nice when you're by yourself, but I feel like it's much more enjoyable when you get to share that with someone else. I think I'd definitely do a duet again.
And who would be on your wish list to do a duet with?
I would love to do a duet with Tori Forsyth. I think she's amazing. So she would definitely be on the list. And I'm a huge fan of the Civil Wars. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. They're very big and they would never say yes to little Camille. But I'd like to think that maybe one day I could do a duet with him.
The song itself, Holding Pattern, for those at home that haven't heard it, tell us a little bit behind the story of Holding Pattern.
It's really about that weird phase when you've been seeing someone and you both go your separate ways, and it's that weird phase after you break up where you kind of both have things that you want to say to each other but you never quite do. The song is pretty much the two people are talking to each other and kind of saying the things that they wish they could say to each other. And it's kind of like this weird kind of situation where they're like, I'm going to your house and I'm going to tell you these things, but I kind of hope that you're not there. Yeah, it's kind of like that really weird phase. And I feel like a lot of people have been through that and will connect with it.
If people want to stay in touch with what you're doing, where they can see you play, get hold of your music, what's the best way for them to do that?
I'm on all of the social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. They can keep up to date with all my gigs and new releases there. And all of my music is on Spotify, Apple Music, all of those streaming services.
Camille Trail, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We're going to play the song now. It is called Holding Pattern, and the duet you did there with Brad Butcher, and hopefully we'll catch up soon.